When we are talking about entity attachments, we think of spirits, ghosts, and demonic beings. Even based on the norms, we separate between angels and demons. The two concepts, however, are still not widely acknowledged as something that is real in our daily lives, but they are treated as fictions, myths, and legends. Archons are something that is more obscure and unexplored. They are cosmic viruses that came from another dimension, another universe, another space that is not originally here. They came through wormholes, through gaps, from the dimensional rifts. Some came from alternative dimensions, from an alternative timeline to invade us. As timelines also have light and dark, good and bad, and darkness spreads like wildfires. When we talk about timelines, it can be a timeline where negative alien races created these archonic AI devices or parasites that look like nanobots, nanomachines. A timeline where AI takes over all individuality of a being, a soul. A timeline where AI controls every single behaviors of that being and replicating all its movements. A timeline where AI replaces that being itself, as it is able to completely mimic and record all behaviors from that being. This is where we have the transhumanism timeline that many have been talking about, especially in the spiritual community and the Starseed community. Archons are indeed AI, artificial intelligence. They are machines, they are programs, they are softwares. They are sentient machines, but only with the objective to take over, to infect and infest. This is all for their survival, because they need negative energies to feed on in order to survive. Think of it like this. You have your computer, and you decide to go to the deep web and install a software from there. Suddenly your computer is infected with viruses that cause a breakdown from the inside, and your computer dies. These viruses are exactly what Archons are like. That's why I said they are cosmic viruses. Our universe is a hologram, a program, a software, and the Archons are the computer viruses that infect the program. They can look like shadow beings or dark matter. Many report them looking like AI octopus and machines similar to the appearance from the Matrix. The way that the Archons affect us is just as nasty as any malicious entities, but even worse. They attach to anything that triggers our negative emotions and behaviors to generate negative energies within us for them to feed onto. So many of them attach to our traumatic memories to stimulate and trigger our PTSD. Until we heal our PTSD, we can't get rid of them, as they will only reattach. They also implant a lot of false images, almost like hallucination, to see lower negative timelines of us, to discourage us from what we are doing, to show us false images. They would stimulate our brain to make us indulge into bad habits. That's where the addictions come from and why some of us struggle to stop. Many psychiatric disorders come from the Archons, such as OCD, ADHD, depression, anxiety, and many more. Have you feel anxious without knowing exactly why, and you forget things all of a sudden? The Archons are neurotically manipulative, that they can use images or darkness to block the surface of the memory and distract us from getting things done. It's like putting something on the surface to block our memory images, right? Using darkness, using any sort of thing to distract us from seeing the actual image. They also make us procrastinate and would do anything to deter and delay our progress, and also discourage us from proceeding. Many archonic beings also attach into electronics like our smartphones. So that's why many of us feel lower whenever we use them. And smartphones are everywhere, everybody uses them. The truth is, once the Archons are attached deep inside into us, into a memory, into a brain cell, into whatever, they can't be easily cleared. Not with clearing prayers, not with regular healing, not with Reiki. But I'm not dismissing these methods, as they will still be the bridge for completely getting rid of these entities. The good news is that they cannot attack the soul. They cannot attack our soul. They can only attack the body and the mind. I myself am aware when I'm being affected by them. And when I look at it from a higher perspective, it seems like it's not a big deal when my body is just a character I play behind the controls, right? And the characters are just poisoned by a virus. Okay, not a big deal. Quit the game, restart the game, whatever. But, that's not how it works here. It's not that type of game. It's not that type of video game. On another perspective, it may seem dire since we can't quit the game and we have to finish it. So how do we deal with Archons? In religious cultures, we deal with demonic entities with many different ways. We have salt, holy water, the cross, prayers, and many more methods. The methods are diverse and wide. On the one side of the extreme, we treat demonic entities as a complete adversary that must be eradicated. The extreme view may turn us into killing machines that only judges and kill the darkness inside us and around us. The war will not end as we are constantly looking for battles with no rest. On the other side, we take on the full love approach, where we accept everything and everyone, where we overgive and completely give in to darkness, allowing them to take over our light. This is how many ancient civilizations such as Lyra have fallen. So we need to have the right balance. We need to nurture unconditional love within ourselves and shine our light, but at the same time, we need self-boundaries and spiritual sovereignty to stand our ground, not giving into any darkness when they decide to attack us. Archons that are deeply attached requires a deep cleanse and deep purge, a complete change in habit. If you are struggling with habitual addiction, move to a new environment to avoid that. Get a mentor for help or join a supportive community. A deep fasting can work too. Obviously, eat what works best for you, but it doesn't have to be extreme like water fasting. You can go for a whole food vegetarian organic diet, avoiding any processed, refined, artificial food. This alone cleanses your body, which also cleanses your mind. Do what you can do first to clear as much toxins inside you. It will make it easier to do the actual work. The next thing to do is to cut down the usage for electronics, like our smartphones, and actually have more time to spend for yourself in the present moment, living at the present moment, mindfulness. The major attachment for all of us are smartphones and social media. We are too glued into it and it captures our spiritual consciousness into there. This is where we become spiritually vulnerable. If you are going to use fire, make sure you know what you're doing to prevent yourself from starting a fire, burning the whole place down. Just like how when you use social media, when you use something that You know that you can't let your guard down because it will make you spiritually vulnerable. You gotta be on guard. You gotta know what you're doing to prevent any entity attachment, any entity invasion from affecting you. I'm not kidding if our smart devices are the main reasons why we've become so mentally and spiritually vulnerable. Because everyone's using them. Everyone's glued to them. So the third thing is to cut down masturbation and any hedonistic pleasures. Unfortunately, our society has distorted male and female energies, and sex itself is also heavily distorted, where most of us are having a hard time to have a healthy relationship and healthy orgasm. When we orgasm, we use a lot of energies, which lowers our vitality and in turn lowers our spiritual sovereignty, and it makes entity easier to attack us, to invade. Something as powerful as orgasm needs to be done with great caution, as doing it wrongly can really lower our vibration or manifest something we don't truly want. The next thing is to identify what is yours and what is not. Identifying your behavioral patterns and how you react towards certain behaviors, towards certain things. You can release what your body wants to. Release and express what your mind, your body wants to express. And journal them. Keep a record about them and learn about them. That way you can truly discern what is really you and what is not. And then you actually do the releasing work. Learning to surrender to the process of deep cleanse and deep purge. By surrender, I don't ask you to surrender your sovereignty, but to the process. When you feel sick, allow yourself to feel sick. When you feel unaware, allow it to happen. Don't restrict and suppress it in any way. Which brings me to the next stage, is to reclaim and declare your spiritual sovereignty all rounds. Mind, body, spirit. Declare it verbally with intention and feel your wholeness. Feel your inner essence. Feel the energy waves in and around your body, your whole being. And claim that sovereignty that you are the master soul of the body. And no one else can control it but you. You are the player that controls your character. No one else. Last but not least is consistency. It's hard to continue this process, but it's very easy to fall back. So be patient and be persistent. When you relapse, know how to stand back up. Chances are if you relapse and not give up, you can still continue the process. But once you give up completely, you have to restart. That's why it's very beneficial to get a mentor for help or a support community to do it together if you struggle with relapsing. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm offering Akashic record session and Akashic clearing session. And I'll post the website in the link and the link in the description below. Please check it out. And please like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to this YouTube channel. And I'll see you on the next video. Much love and peace.